What if the most powerful anti-inflammatory medicine for your bone pain, your joint pain, your muscle cramps, and your chronic exhaustion has been sitting in your kitchen spice rack this entire time, and you have been paying hundreds of dollars for pills that do not work half as well? What if pharmaceutical companies have known about this $1 natural remedy for decades and spent billions making sure you reach for their expensive painkillers instead? Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to use turmeric to destroy bone pain, muscle pain, joint stiffness, and chronic fatigue. 5 proven methods, precise quantities, exact timing, all for less than $1 a day. But first, hold this question. If this $1 spice can do what expensive medications cannot, why has nobody told you about it until now? I'm Dr. Christine Rodriguez, and this is Men's Vitality Hub. This channel exists to give men like you authentic, valid knowledge about your health, so you can make real decisions that change how you feel. Today, we have one purpose: to show you exactly what turmeric does for bone pain, muscle pain, joint stiffness, and fatigue, and 3 precise, practical ways to use it daily, starting tonight. Let me paint a picture that is going to feel very familiar to a lot of men watching this. You wake up in the morning, and the first thing you feel before your feet even touch the floor is stiffness. Your knees ache. Your lower back is tight. Your shoulders feel like they have been carrying weight all night. You get up slowly, not because you are lazy, but because moving quickly hurts. And you tell yourself it is just age, just the price of working hard. Just something you have to live with. Then there is the bone pain, the deep, persistent ache that lives in your joints and does not fully go away regardless of how much you rest. Knees that grind when you climb stairs, hips that protest when you stand up from a chair, ankles that throb after a day on your feet. Some men carry this pain from old injuries, a knee injury from 20 years ago, a back injury from construction work, a shoulder that was never quite right after an accident. The body healed on the surface, but the inflammation never fully resolved. And now, years later, that old injury is speaking again, louder every year. Then there is the muscle situation. Cramps that hit without warning, the sudden, violent contraction that wakes you at 3 a.m. and has you grabbing your calf in agony. Muscle soreness that lingers for days after physical work that used to feel easy. The heaviness in your legs at the end of the day. Muscles that used to recover overnight now take 3 days and never quite get back to where they were. And underneath all of it is the exhaustion. Not the tiredness of a good day's work that sleep resolves, a deeper fatigue, there when you wake up and still there when you go to bed. Men living with chronic pain live with chronic fatigue because the body constantly managing inflammation, suppressing pain signals, and trying to repair damaged tissue has no energy left for anything else. Most men in this situation reach for the same solutions: ibuprofen, paracetamol, prescription anti-inflammatories. These work short-term, but they do not address the underlying inflammatory process. And over time, chronic NSAID use carries its own costs: gastric damage, kidney stress, cardiovascular risk. Men are managing pain with tools that damage the very organs they need to recover. What if there was a solution that addressed the root inflammatory process, not just the symptom? One that cost less than $1 a day, had been used safely for thousands of years, and was backed by modern scientific research? That solution is turmeric, and most men are not using it, or using it incorrectly and wondering why it does not work. Now, before I tell you how to use it and what it does for you, you need to understand why it works inside your body at the biological level, because this is the part that changes everything. Once you understand the mechanism, you will never look at this spice the same way again. Turmeric, botanical name Curcuma longa, is a root plant in the ginger family used in Ayurvedic and traditional Chinese medicine for over 4,000 years. Its active compound is curcumin, a polyphenol with potent antioxidant and anti-inflammatory activity that works through mechanisms genuinely remarkable from a pharmacological standpoint. The primary mechanism is inhibition of NF-kappa B, nuclear factor kappa B. NF-kappa B is a protein complex that functions as a master switch for inflammation in the body. When activated by injury, oxidative stress, or aging, it triggers production of pro-inflammatory cytokines, including interleukin-1, interleukin-6, and TNF-alpha. These are the biological molecules responsible for swelling, heat, pain, and tissue damage of chronic inflammation. By directly inhibiting NF-kappa B at the source, curcumin switches off the inflammatory cascade, not just suppressing the pain signal downstream, but addressing the upstream driver that produces the pain in the first place. The second mechanism is COX-2 inhibition. COX-2 is the enzyme that produces prostaglandins, which mediate pain and inflammation at the site of tissue damage. This is the same enzyme ibuprofen inhibits. Curcumin inhibits COX-2 without the gastric and renal side effects of chronic NSAID use. A study published in the journal Oncogene found curcumin comparable to aspirin and ibuprofen in COX-2 inhibitory activity. The same pain relief without the organ damage. The third mechanism is antioxidant activity. Chronic inflammation generates free radicals that destroy cartilage, degrade synovial fluid, and accelerate joint degeneration. Curcumin neutralizes free radicals directly and simultaneously upregulates the body's own antioxidant enzyme systems, superoxide dismutase and glutathione peroxidase, creating a protective environment in joint and muscle tissue that slows the oxidative degradation that aging and chronic inflammation accelerate. The fourth mechanism is collagen synthesis support. Curcumin stimulates production of collagen, the structural protein forming cartilage, tendons, ligaments, and bone matrix. In men with joint pain from cartilage degradation, this supports tissue repair that pain medications simply do not provide. And there is one critical bioavailability fact that determines whether turmeric works or does absolutely nothing. Curcumin is poorly absorbed from the digestive tract on its own. Combining turmeric with black pepper, specifically the compound piperine, increases curcumin bioavailability by up to 2,000%. This single fact explains why most people who eat turmeric occasionally see zero benefit. Every method in today's protocol includes black pepper for this exact reason. Now let me tell you what all of this science actually means for your body, because I want you to hear each of these 5 benefits clearly. By the time I finish this section, you are going to understand exactly what turmeric has been waiting to do for you. The first benefit is joint pain reduction. Curcumin's NF-kappa B and COX-2 inhibition directly reduces the inflammatory processes producing joint pain in knees, hips, shoulders, and spinal joints. Men with osteoarthritis, old injury inflammation, and general joint stiffness show measurable pain reduction within 2 to 4 weeks of consistent daily use. The second benefit is muscle recovery acceleration. Curcumin reduces exercise-induced muscle damage and delayed onset muscle soreness by suppressing the inflammatory cytokines that prolong the repair process. Men who use turmeric consistently recover faster from physical effort and experience significantly less of the lingering muscle soreness that makes the day after hard work miserable. The third benefit is bone protection. Research has shown that curcumin modulates the activity of osteoclasts, the cells responsible for bone resorption, reducing the rate of bone density loss that accelerates with age and chronic inflammation. For men concerned about bone strength as they age, curcumin adds a long-term structural benefit on top of its immediate pain-relieving properties. The fourth benefit is fatigue reduction. The chronic fatigue that accompanies persistent inflammation begins resolving as inflammation is managed. because the immune system resources that were being consumed by the inflammatory process become available for energy metabolism and physical recovery. Men who address their underlying inflammation with turmeric consistently report meaningful improvements in daily energy within 4 to 6 weeks of consistent use. The fifth benefit is old injury pain management. Injuries that healed structurally but left a residue of chronic low-grade inflammation, the old football knee, the construction back, the old shoulder, respond well to the sustained anti-inflammatory activity of daily turmeric use. Men who have carried old injury pain for years often report significant reduction in that baseline pain after 6 to 8 weeks of consistent daily consumption. So now that you know exactly why turmeric works and what it does, let me show you precisely how to use it. I am going to give you 3 methods with exact quantities, step-by-step preparation, and precise timing. Because doing this wrong means absorbing almost nothing. Doing it right means your body starts responding within days. The first method is warm turmeric milk at night. This is the most traditional and one of the most effective delivery methods. Here is exactly how to prepare it. Take 1 cup of milk, whole milk or any milk alternative, and place it in a small pot on low heat. Warm it slowly until it is comfortably hot to touch but not boiling. Do not let it bubble. Remove from heat. Take 1 level teaspoon of turmeric powder and add it directly into the warm milk. Add a small pinch of black pepper, approximately 1/8 of a teaspoon. This is non-negotiable for absorption. Stir thoroughly for 30 seconds until the turmeric is fully dissolved with no powder floating on top. Add a small amount of raw honey if needed for taste. Drink slowly, 30 minutes before bed, while still warm. The warm milk supports melatonin production and aids sleep, while the turmeric works through the night when the body's repair processes are most active. The anti-inflammatory activity of curcumin peaks approximately 4 to 6 hours after consumption, meaning a bedtime dose provides maximum anti-inflammatory support during the overnight repair window. 1 level teaspoon of turmeric per night, every single night, 30 minutes before sleep. The second method is turmeric halwa. This traditional preparation combines turmeric with ghee, which is critical because curcumin is fat-soluble, and ghee dramatically enhances its absorption, along with black pepper that further boosts bioavailability. Here is exactly how to make a 1/2 kilogram batch. Take a heavy-bottomed pan and place it on medium-low heat. Add 150 grams of pure ghee and allow it to melt completely. Add 100 grams of whole wheat flour to the melted ghee and stir continuously. Do not stop stirring for approximately 10 minutes until the flour turns golden and releases a warm, nutty fragrance. This toasting step is essential. Do not rush it. Now add 1 full tablespoon of turmeric powder, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, and 1/4 teaspoon of cardamom. Stir these spices into the toasted flour for 30 seconds. Add 200 grams of sugar or jaggery and 300 milliliters of warm water gradually while stirring continuously until the mixture comes together into a thick, cohesive halva. This batch provides approximately 10 to 14 daily servings. Daily serving is 2 to 3 tablespoons, equivalent to approximately 1 teaspoon of turmeric. Consume in the morning with breakfast. The fat content of the ghee dramatically enhances curcumin absorption. Use this method 3 to 4 times per week, not daily, as the sugar and ghee content make daily consumption calorically heavy. Alternate with the other methods on remaining days. The third method is turmeric hot water drink. This is the simplest and most accessible method for daytime use. Here is exactly how to prepare it. Bring 1 large cup of water to a full boil. Remove from heat and allow to cool for exactly 2 minutes. Do not drink boiling water as it damages the curcumin compounds. Add 1 level teaspoon of turmeric powder and 1/8 teaspoon of black pepper to the hot water. Squeeze in the juice of 1/4 of a fresh lemon. The vitamin C in lemon further enhances curcumin absorption and adds an important antioxidant layer. Add raw honey to taste if needed. Stir thoroughly for 20 seconds and drink slowly while still hot. Consume this mid-morning, approximately 1 hour after breakfast. This provides a daytime anti-inflammatory dose that complements the evening milk method perfectly. Men with particularly severe pain may use both the morning water drink and the evening milk for a twice-daily protocol. 1 teaspoon of turmeric per cup, maximum 2 cups per day across all methods combined. Now, before I bring everything together, I have to be completely honest with you about 2 important warnings. This is the part most health channels skip, and it is the part that keeps you safe. The first warning is for men on blood-thinning medications, warfarin, aspirin therapy, or clopidogrel. Curcumin has mild anticoagulant properties that can compound with these medications and increase bleeding risk. If you are on any blood-thinning medication, do not exceed half a teaspoon of turmeric per day and have an explicit conversation with your physician before beginning any daily turmeric protocol. Your doctor may need to monitor your clotting markers more frequently during the initial weeks of use. The second warning is for men with gallstones or bile duct obstruction. Curcumin stimulates bile production, which is beneficial for most men, but can trigger pain or complications in men with existing gallstone conditions. If you have a history of gallstones or have been told you have bile duct issues, discuss turmeric use with your physician before starting. In these cases, if your physician approves, begin with no more than 1/4 teaspoon per day and monitor your body's response carefully before increasing the amount. And here are 2 facts about turmeric that are going to genuinely surprise you, because they surprised me when I first encountered them in the research. The first surprising fact is that curcumin outperformed ibuprofen in a published clinical trial for knee osteoarthritis pain, with equivalent pain relief and significantly fewer side effects. This was not published on a wellness blog. It was published in a peer-reviewed medical journal. The same pain relief as ibuprofen, no stomach damage, no kidney stress, no cardiovascular risk. Just a spice from your kitchen. The second surprising fact is about cost. A kilogram of quality turmeric powder costs approximately $3 to $5 and provides several months of daily therapeutic use at 1 teaspoon per day. A monthly supply of commercial curcumin supplements costs $30 to $80, and many of those supplements deliver comparable or actually lower bioavailability than properly prepared home turmeric with black pepper and fat. The $1 solution is not a compromise. For most men, it is genuinely the superior choice. So here's how everything we have covered today solves the real problems we talked about at the beginning. The bone pain that greets you every morning, the joint stiffness, the grinding knees, the aching hips, is driven by NF-kappa B-mediated inflammation and oxidative damage in joint tissue. Daily turmeric, consumed with black pepper and fat, inhibits NF-kappa B, suppresses the inflammatory cytokines driving that pain, and reduces the oxidative damage, destroying the cartilage cushioning those joints. 2 to 4 weeks of consistent daily use produces measurable pain reduction. 6 to 8 weeks produces significant functional improvement. The muscle cramps, the soreness, the slow recovery, driven by exercise-induced inflammatory damage and poor tissue repair, respond to curcumin's COX-2 inhibition and collagen synthesis stimulation within 2 to 3 weeks of consistent use. Recovery accelerates. Soreness reduces. The muscles that used to take 3 days to recover begin recovering in 1. The old injury pain, the chronic low-grade inflammation maintained in that knee or back or shoulder for years, responds to sustained anti-inflammatory intervention because the inflammatory process driving it is biological, ongoing, and responsive to treatment regardless of how long it has been present. The fatigue, driven by the immune resource drain of chronic inflammation, begins lifting as the inflammatory burden reduces. Men typically report meaningful energy improvements within 4 to 6 weeks, not because turmeric is a stimulant, but because a body no longer consuming its resources managing inflammation has those resources available for energy, recovery, and performance. Use the warm turmeric milk every single night before bed. Use the turmeric hot water drink mid-morning on most days. Use the halwa 3 to 4 times per week as your morning food. Combine all methods within the 2-teaspoon daily maximum. Be consistent for a minimum of 4 weeks before evaluating results. The men who give up after 1 week never reach the therapeutic threshold where the results become clearly felt. Remember the question from the beginning. If this $1 spice can do what expensive medications cannot, why has nobody told you about it until now? Now you have the answer. Because there is no profit in turmeric, no patent, no prescription revenue, no repeat purchase supplement model. The pharmaceutical industry cannot make money from your spice rack. But you can make your joints, your muscles, your energy, and your quality of life dramatically better for less than $1 a day. Here's what you learned today. Turmeric's active compound, curcumin, inhibits NF-kappa B, the master switch of inflammation, and COX-2, the enzyme that produces pain. It works as well as ibuprofen for joint pain without the side effects. It must be taken with black pepper and fat to absorb properly. 3 practical methods give you flexible daily options. Men on blood thinners and men with gallstones need adjusted doses and physician guidance, and 4 to 8 weeks of consistent use is what separates the men who feel the results from the men who tried it once and dismissed it. If this video gave you a practical, affordable solution for pain you have been managing expensively and inadequately, please hit that like button right now and subscribe to Men's Vitality Hub. Every week, real science, honest guidance, practical protocols for men who are serious about their health. Tell me in the comments, where is your worst pain right now? Knees? Back? Old injury? Drop it below, because your experience might help another man in this community recognize that what he has been living with is not inevitable. It is addressable. Starting tonight with 1 teaspoon of turmeric in warm milk. Thank you for watching. $1, 1 spice, starting tonight. I will see you in the next one.